Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you watch this. Shalom. I trust that you are having a great week thus far and that you are experiencing the goodness of the Lord and His marvelous grace and His awesome wonder and His awesome majesty. I just wanted to take a few minutes to greet you. I haven't been on Facebook in a while. And it's time to break the silence. Um, on January the 1st, my wonderful aunt transitioned to glory, and it was very abrupt, and it really caused a lot of different emotions that I didn't even understand or know how to walk through. So, the reason I'm calling this Reflections on Grief is because it is something that we all walk through, but I'm not sure if we've all processed it properly. I'm not sure if we've even taken time to process it. I think in our modern day world, we just get over it in the 3 days, or we think we get over it in the 3 days, or the allotted time that's given to us by whatever company we're working for. They call it bereavement. But there was an acronym that the Lord gave me for grief: grace revealed in every facet. And we have labeled grace as God's unmerited favor. I have found that grace is God's super on my natural that enables me to accomplish whatever is before me. So no one looks at the new year and expects the new year to begin with death. And so we make our promises to ourselves or our declarations or whatever. Well, what happens when all of that is interrupted by someone in your life, aunt, mother, father, friend, some family member that is close, and you're left wondering, and you're left really, I was left with a stinging sensation and didn't understand the stinging sensation. And that aunt was my mom's youngest sister, and she ended the era for my mom's family. So that whole generation of my mom's family is no longer in the land of the living. And my brother and I were left in a state of wonderment because we knew nothing. She lived in Philadelphia. So you had to get in motion to figure out what to do next. So we get in the car and we drive to Philadelphia. I think it took us 2 or 3 days because he's in Louisiana and I'm in Texas. So I went to Louisiana, I got him, and we drove, and there was snowstorms and all kinds of things, and we were fussing out to you got us up here in this snow. Neither one of us had driven in snow in years, and thankfully, she had a very supportive pastor who helped us walk through those initial process of the burial and what to do. And because of the timing, I mean, her caregiver found her, so we really don't know how long she had been deceased. But because of all of that, we had to make some decisions about what do we do with her remains. And her pastor recommended cremation. That was kind of something that was new to me, but as I reflect on all of it, I see God's grace in every measure. She wanted to be buried in Louisiana. Well, she hasn't been buried yet. There have been all kinds of situations that have happened that have interfered with that memorial service in Louisiana. Thankfully, now it will be June 7th. So I said, Jesus, it has taken 6 months to put my aunt in the ground. In this 6 months' time, being the person who has had to be in charge of her affairs. Thankfully, she had a will. So I say to you, I recognize that many times that's not a pleasant situation, but I say to you, get those things in order. Get your wills. Had she listened when she was alive and we were able to put her property and her cars and her accounts in a trust, then we probably wouldn't have had to pay inheritance tax. So there are things that we can do to protect ourselves and prepare for the next stage of life for those who remain and have to try to pick up the pieces. There's keys that we don't know what they belong to. And so it has caused several trips back and forth to Philadelphia to clean out her house because she was in that house like 58 years. And this will probably be our fourth trip and it's still not done. But grace has sustained me and grace has enabled me to walk through the process. And I can't say that I really thought about her not being here because I've been in the motion of getting it done. But today I had a wake-up call when I went to have a procedure done. And for some reason, I was just really nervous. It's a minor procedure, but my blood pressure was not where it should be. And so as I've been reflecting today, I recognize how our emotions impact what's going on in our body. So I had to ask myself, have I really processed this with the Lord? Have I really sat with grief? Many times we don't want to sit with grief because it doesn't feel good. It feels sad. But grief is a type of emotion that we have to sit with and we have to process and we have to allow ourselves to feel it so that we can receive grace and we can receive strength and we can move forward. And that situation can be our platform to move forward instead of a place that causes us to be stuck. So I say grief comes not only at the death of a loved one, but a loss of a job, a house. And I got irritated where people kept saying, I'm sorry for your loss. And it's like, she's not lost. I know exactly where she is. And I think we've gotten caught up in these pat answers that we give people because it's uncomfortable for us. But as the people of God, Jesus was a God of compassion. And as his people, we are to be those agents of compassion to other people. And I asked myself, what happened to compassion? There were times where I just felt really overwhelmed, and I'm grateful for the people who have been there, who have prayed for me and who have stood with me. But in those times of grief, you find out who's really with you and who's really for you, and it may not feel good. There may be people that you thought, there were people who I thought would be there and they're not. And I had to sit with that and I had to release it and I had to surrender. And in all of this, there has been a continuous surrender because it hasn't looked like what I thought it would look like. My life hasn't looked like what I thought it would look like. But you know, grace has kept me. Grace has sustained me. Grace has empowered me. Grace, I am grateful for grace. There's another acronym that says God's riches at Christ's expense. I'm saying for my acronym that he gave me for grief was grace revealed in every facet. And I am experiencing his grace in a measure that I didn't know. No, it doesn't feel good that my aunt is not here. No, it doesn't feel good that I have to seemingly pick up the pieces. I'm grateful that my brother has been there and he has supported me. And he says, sis, what can I do to help you? I said, brother, I don't know. This is a new place. We don't know what new looks like. We don't know what shifts look like. We don't know what growth looks like. But if we know Jesus, we can walk through it and come out on the other side of victory and be the source of strength and the source of help for somebody else. I'm sending out a clarion call in the spirit for the people of God to wake up and be the hands and feet of Jesus extended in the earth. Be his compassion, be his love, and cease in giving people these pat answers. I'm going to pray for you. Well, did you really pray? Did you even consider maybe she needs a meal? Maybe she needs a hug. What can I do to help? Prayer sometimes has become a scapegoat, not to become involved. Well, I say today, the Lord requires us as his people to get involved with one another, to engage one another, to commune with one another. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's time for us to represent our Father well. Hi, Marsha. How you doing? Thank you. We must care. Exactly right. We must care for one another, and we must do better at caring for one another and caring about one another. Hallelujah. Shalom until the next time. Have an awesome day. Care for one another well. Yes, ma'am. And maybe we don't know how to care for one another well. It's time for us to ask ourselves, how do we care for one another well? If we are the people of God, what makes us different in how we care for others than those who are in the world? And sometimes, unfortunately, those who are outside of what we call church, or outside of the places of a belief in Jesus or having faith in God, do better at caring for one another. It's time for us as the Lord's people to do better in caring for one another. Hallelujah. Have an awesome day. I love you. Shalom. Hi, cousin.